who will win the NFC West? Who will be the best team this upcoming year? The win totals on BetOnline are strangely high for all of these teams. I was quite shocked by how optimistic BetOnline is right now for these teams. So much so, actually, I need to double check the Cardinals win total, because now that I'm looking at it after I wrote it down, that does not look right. Rams are at 9.5. Where do you stand?
Rams are over, and they are a clear, smart over, and I will pencil in the Rams over every year with Sean McVay, Jesus Christ, leading that charge. He is an alpha. He proved himself to escalate teams beyond his corny level or needing the get-back coach or all the cameras. He had so many opportunities to be an annoying, young, modern, sleek head coach that doesn't really look football, but he is past that. He builds competent teams. The Rams are always good. They're always deep. They were injured to bits last year, injured bad, and they were still winning ball games. This team healthy. You got another year of good Stafford. Could be great Stafford, but he's too old now, so you could have another good year of good Stafford. Kyrie Williams, dog. They just win games, and they win them well. The Rams over is easy for me. 10 wins for this Rams team. I've fielded conversations in my personal life about people confident the Rams in the NFC Championship game. They're telling me that they could see them just walking right into it. And I'm almost like believing them.
Okay.
They have a real chance to go deep.
Here's my only thing. And I'm glad Ryan tuned in right now for this, right, for me to speak negatively on his Rams team.
Oh, no.
I feel like the Rams are too bipolar of a team to accurately predict if they will hit their win total. Because I feel like the instances where over the course of the last few years, and I know that I'm going off of awful seasons that they had that were aggressively impacted by like serious compounding injuries that built up. But it feels like after they have a really good season, they show up and something goes wrong, and then they're a mess. And we give Sean McVay the benefit of the doubt. No one's like freaking out or panicking. They're just kind of like, man, this season didn't go their way. And we even spent the segment talking about how we thought at the beginning of the year that could even happen for them, where the injuries were piling up and things weren't going to go well.
Yeah.
And
it looked rough for them.
Right. And every time, to that point, every time that we show up not having high expectations, Aaron Donald gone, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, all these young dudes on defense, we're kind of wondering, what the heck do we expect from this team? Everyone thought they were going to be middling and it was going to be a multi-year process for them figuring out their defense. And they were awesome in the playoffs. They were one of the best teams. They were one of the hottest teams to finish the year once everybody got healthy.
Yeah.
And then again, we talked about how we were doom and gloom after the start with the young core and the injuries at the beginning of the year. From a betting perspective, I don't want to touch 10 wins. I don't want to touch it, but I will say from a non-betting perspective, I agree with you. I would safely say that they can win 10 games.
I'll sell you real quick, and I know it's counterproductive for big man talk numbers, but I'm going to do it here. Since Sean McVay has taken over, he's only gone under 10 wins twice. That's since 2017. One of those was a 9-win season. One of those, the collapse, 5-win season when Stafford was injured all year. Back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Okay.
I just am so confident that they get 10 wins. They're good enough to hit that number, and because I spoke it into existence with a pattern and a little bit of data to correlate to my point, it won't happen.
Data.
But no, exactly.
Analytics guru Sean Anderson drops the big data.
I'd go to PFF and charge them for this data. Come on.
Again, I don't disagree with your logic, and I think that it's safe to assume that if there's any team in the NFL, if you didn't even tell me what their win total was, if you just straight up asked me, I'm not going to tell you the number, do the Rams hit it? Or if I had to pick a team that would blindly hit their win total, it'd be the Rams. It absolutely would be the Rams.
They're so competent. They're in that Buccaneers category with me, where they just keep on winning good. They win games that they can compete with anyone.
I just think that 10 is a high number. If we're talking, again, betting perspective, win totals in one of the harder, deeper divisions in the NFL. That's where the trickiness comes into play, while I'm a little bit cautious.
I tell you, the NFC West, I am cautious because I've already taken personally at BetOnline a season over of one of these teams.
Oh, have you?
It's actually the team with the highest win total this year.
That'd be being the 49ers?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the 49ers. This is the only win total you've currently placed?
Correct.
Was this a
pre-show
sober placement?
Yes, starkly sober. Because
what day of the week and what time of day was this? What inspired? Okay, 10.5 is the win total. What inspired this?
Tuesday, 2:30.
This Tuesday.
Heard a shout in the bullpen about, we were just talking NFL, chopping it up with the pals, talk a little football at work. And then heard from a ball knower, the 49ers schedule this year is ridiculously easy. And we hadn't even talked NFC West yet. We haven't gone through it. And I start looking through these games, and I was down on the 49ers this year. I have concerns about McCaffrey's durability this year.
Yeah.
Concerns about Purdy. Ayuk just got paid, just got hurt, and still wants to get paid more. Kittle's a year older, but they have good pieces, and they play some skells this year. You draw the Saints, you might get your over-under because that's an auto win. They get the Jaguars, auto win in my opinion. Giants, auto win in my opinion. No offense, but against the 49ers,
I've said that multiple times. I don't argue that.
I think they could sweep the Cardinals. Who knows what to make of that godless team? They get the Panthers, auto win. Browns, auto win. The Tennessee Titans, another number one pick this year, auto win. The Colts, and then the Bears. They are playing like nobody. Their biggest games, the hardest games, are the Rams, and then you got the Texans. And maybe the Buccaneers can make it.
Seattle twice could.
Seattle
will give you a tough out.
I'm not going to
know. And I don't think it's. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't think it's safe to assume that they sweep the Cardinals.
I wouldn't. I would agree with that. I think the NFC West acts really weird when they play each other. Okay. And when that 4 o'clock window, when you're in that 4 o'clock window and that second game starts on Red Zone, and you're kind of like, okay, here's the next games. Let me check my fantasy, do a little work. Then you come back after halftime and it's all tied and you don't know what the hell is going on out west in football. They get weird, but the 49ers can beat the Cardinals twice, and they can easily split with the Seahawks, and they could split with the Rams. I love this over, actually, because they play nobody outside of that.
I forgot to make my because I forgot to make the statement that I made for the AFC North segment, me laughing in the face of probability.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that I think it's pretty safe to assume that all these teams could realistically split with one another. So that should be factored in. But looking at the schedule, they've got one of the easiest strength of schedules. Outside of conference play, the fact that they get the AFC South is one of the luckiest draws that you possibly could have been handed. I like taking the over too, because I think that Shanahan, talking about bipolar teams, staring down the face of adversity, after an awful season last year and a completely frustrating season, he has always been the king of retooling and adapting. I said this after they re-signed Purdy. As much as that it was a huge contract, it was still best for the team, for their long-term future, for them to build something around him. And they kind of did. They kind of built a competitive team through the draft. They had a couple of weird picks, but it feels like that this Rams team or 49ers team is gearing back up. 11 wins is a lot.
It's a lot to say out loud. Don't like saying it out loud. It felt a little weird typing in that, the units when I'm looking at it. I'm like, 10.5. All right, 10.5. I locked it in.
God, that does make me feel a little gross.
And this is one of these where
I'll take the over, but it feels gross.
It feels gross, and my gut is telling me that, God, I'm looking at the 49ers window, but I have to throw that out because we're not talking about windows. We're talking about win totals in the regular season.
Talking about doors.
And we keep on. All right.
I'm sorry.
You know what? That's good revenge for the Tulane joke. That's fine. Hey, why is the show called that? You know what? If you ever wondered, you jerks, if you ever wondered, that's why. You get twofer in the first 15.
What were you saying?
It feels nasty doing this with the 49ers, because all of the actual, if you were to go pros, cons on it, I'm having just as many cons looking at this 49ers team as I am pros. But the 49ers just win stupid, irritating ball games because Shanahan is just smarter than enough of the dunces or the coaches that are just getting started and haven't coached against him yet. Like, he just has a little bit of that leg up to get the stupid wins that 49ers get. This should be an 8-win team. because I don't think McCaffrey stays healthy.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, then 11 wins penciled in. But I don't think that happens. But they get it done. And they're one of these freaky teams that gets it done. Like the Steelers, why we have reverence for the blue chip organizations in the NFL is because historically they get wins. And the 49ers are a part of that crew. Dallas is currently soiling their reputation as the blue chips, even though they're still America's team. But the Steelers and the 49ers just keep on walking into work. Hey, boss, another season? Yeah, 10 wins. Clock it in. Punch it.
Very stray observation. It is getting hot as shit in here. Cardinals, 8.5 is their win total for this upcoming season. I'm shocked by how high that is. I don't know where that's coming from. They had a pretty good draft. You got Walter Nolan, who's I'm kind of iffy on, expectations for him, what he's going to do in year one. But them getting Will Johnson in the second round was tremendous.
Steal.
Yeah, we kind of talked about those draft classes and recapped them. I feel gross saying over on this. I think here's my bit with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there is an unexpectedly good team this year, it is going to be the Cardinals. But I will not take the over at 8.5 because I think a lot of things can go wrong. Man. We still need Marvin Harrison Jr. to step up. How good's the run game? How good's the offensive line? It's been improving.
What are you going to get from Kyler Murray?
What are you going to get?
What is Kyler Murray going to be at quarterback this year for them? The Will Johnson is steal of the draft. Paris Johnson Jr., watch some of his tape from last year, rookie year. Looked great. Looked athletic. Didn't look overwhelmed by the league. So you have a good left. You have the pieces. But the guy that's supposed to be putting the puzzle together in the backfield, sometimes you don't know whether or not he likes putting it together. You don't know what you're going to get from Kyler Murray. The talent's abundant. His connection with Trey McBride is clear. It's apparent they like throwing the ball and catching it from one another. They're very good. It's a very good battery. But are we sitting here thinking that the Arizona Cardinals are going to pull away in enough games to hit this over? I mean, this is a messy ass team. It's just messy.
It has been. The wheels have fallen off in one way or another. Every year under Gannon, they have not lived up to the hope that he was going to right the ship. And I will say, surprisingly, last year, like their defense was pretty barren, and he got a lot out of a bunch of really no-name guys.
Yeah,
on their defense, like at a number of spots. I think that there's a lot more athleticism. There's a lot more talent. If you can unlock something from those two rookies, them winning 9 football games, and as I said, if they end up being the unexpectedly good team that's going around shocking everybody, I wouldn't be surprised. I think if you had to ask me to provide options for that, I would lead the conversation with the Cardinals. But I am not betting that. I wouldn't touch that. I would say under.
I would go under, and it's frustrating. And this one is, sorry, there's not as much of a polished take here, but the Cardinals are a team that you have to talk out. You have to actually brainstorm about the Cardinals because they check all of the boxes. Wide receiver 1, tight end 1, at times top 15 QB, running back that's on the not shit list. You have left tackle solidified, and you're trying to play the fix the holes in the boat problem on defense with the rookies. And they could be high upside rookies. Defensive leader in Budda Baker. They keep on their draft picks I'm not irritated by when they go through the drafts recently. But why can't they get anything done? I don't think that they have juice. I don't think that they understand how to win yet. It's not a team that I'm taking very seriously, even though I wouldn't be surprised if they had a hot month or if they really started like, oh man, the Cardinals are competent. Well, yeah, we've seen them when they're competent. We've seen when the Cardinals can start rolling, and Trey McBride is having awesome catches on the sideline and touchdown machine, all of it. James Conner's running over defenders, but when it falls off, it gets ugly. And they're not a team that like you fall down 10 for the Cardinals. They don't get back from 10. They just sit and lose, and they continue to get worse. I don't think Kyler's really a crawl back and get it guy, but if he starts hot, he could win a game.
All right, let's close out here. Seattle Seahawks, 7.5 is their win total for 2025. God, this might be one of the hardest win total segments that we've done. Because I don't like that number. 8 wins for the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the over for the Seahawks. I think that Mike McDonald raises the floor significantly for Seattle defensively. And we saw that last year. they were a stout, hard-nosed defensive team, and they have a very underrated defensive roster. Pass rush isn't great, kind of leaves a lot to be desired. DeMarcus Lawrence comes in, but he's old as all hell. I don't think that he's anywhere near the same player that he once was.
Did that news feel like an era ago also?
Yeah. I think they're going to run the ball better after they drafted Zabel. I think their passing offense is going to be a lot more dynamic and a lot less tense because they got rid of DK, brought in Sam Darnold. I'm going to take the over. I think that kind of like the Cardinals, they could be a rising, improving team easily.
I 7.5 line is just enough to make me take the over on this because the Seahawks squeak out wins. Good for the Seattle Seahawks. They do that. But holy hell, I don't know what Sam Darnold is going to do with these guys. If you had a crystal ball, I was looking at it, and they were sitting here saying Sam Darnold, Vikings at 80% capacity. Pencil me in for the 8 wins easy. Mm-hmm. Happy. Probably would have taken them at 9, would have toiled over 10. But right now, looking at this team, unproven, 8 is the only as high as I'd go. If it was an 8.5 line, I'd take the under. And I wouldn't like taking the under on that because they're capable of 9. They got dudes on this team. They got really good players on this team, but they do not, I don't know. They didn't do much last year. They didn't make enough noise for me to say, watch out for Seattle.
But they're like a completely new team, though.
Yeah.
They tore down the studs. They stuck with what builds the foundation for them, and they brought in a lot of exciting new faces. Their offensive line gets better. Again, we talked, Sam Darnold comes in. You're hoping that he is going to be activated and can build off of the momentum that he had in Minnesota and all that good shit. You're hoping that's going to work out. The deficiencies that they had last year, I would argue, are now out the door and allows for them to build off of the success that they had last year.
We were wearing looser pants this year in Seattle for the defensive line. Byron
Murphy.
Yeah. Byron Murphy was the guy that I was kind of like, oh, well, he's coming in with some confidence. Let's see what happens. Oh, not a great year. So maybe we'll loosen up the pants and keep the legs fresh.
One of the worst draft day fits I've ever seen. Dude, big guys should not be wearing tight pants like that.
But that's as good as a big guy can look. I've been training for 4 months before the NFL draft. I'm going to throw on my tight pants.
I want to see how heavy he is.
I'd probably, 270, 280? Tough to be 280 in tight pants. Never looks good.
Byron Murphy the second.
Tough to be 380 in loose pants also. What's up for the audience?
He's 306.
Oh.
6 foot 306. So that's a wide 306.
Hey, hold on. I'm getting crushed right now. What are we doing?
What?
I'm getting the Ryan bit put on me by your other guy here. Your boy, Blake. I'll answer the question. We're about wrapped up here. Nice question in the chat. You can always audio-only listeners can check us out on YouTube, Hack City on YouTube, and leave a comment in the chat. AYS Sports, how many glizzies can Sean eat in one sitting? Over under 7.5. Ooh, here's what we got to determine. Are we eating regular Franks? Are we eating ballpark dogs?
The ones that they do during the hot dog eating contest.
What? Oh, yeah. I clear 8. Yeah. I can eat 8 hot dogs in one sitting.
I was saying that on Friday morning. I think I could do 15.
I was grill master on the 4th.
Okay.
It was a bad grill, a lot of cold spots, a lot of flare-ups. They were bad. I did not make good burgers. They shrunk down real bad. But the dogs, I wasn't giving out the bad dogs to people. The ones the Frankenstein dogs, I kept those on a plate for myself. So I had easily 5 in 30 minutes of just half burnt.
I'm jealous.
Just kind of breaking them apart. They're splitting open. I'm giving the other people
Blake,
nice
I
dogs.
could easily eat 15. I sat in a McDonald's and consumed 7,000 calories. Don't tell me what I can and can't eat. I got a bigger stomach than I look. Sean Anderson watched me eat 70.
I thought we had
boneless.
60.
No, we had 70 boneless chicken wings at Applebee's.
You did put down some nuggets, man. I'll give him that. Blake, I hate to defend him because he does so much weighing of almonds and so many left lids of Greek yogurt in the trash can that you would think, wow, he's eating like a rabbit, like a beta. But when you put him in the arena,
I have to weigh everything because I will eat endlessly.
When you have to put him in the arena and the lights are on,
I step up. I'm a gamer.
I've seen him step up big time. And I'll say this: kept better pace than me. on the chicken wings.
Yeah, you were complaining at the end. I was ready to keep going.
Yeah, I was licking my wounds. I'm sorry, I was full of booze. Yeah, I was full.
Soft.
God, I might not eat today. I think I put together
that bad
40,000 calories over the weekend. Could have been touching.
Stop it.
Oh, I'm not kidding.
You had that much beer?
We finished 3 trash bags full of beer and 3 trash bags full of food.
You're implying that you had 10,000 calories a day?
Easily.
No.
Hey, easily.
You don't know how many. You're bad at as someone who counts calories. That's not how many you had.
I could do 10,000 tonight.
You would die.
Oh, come on, please.
If you eat 3,000 calories more in 1 week, more than your maintenance, you gain a pound of fat.
Yeah, why do you think I look the way I do? 1,000 over my maintenance?
You didn't eat. No, 3,000 over your maintenance. You need to consume 3,000 over your maintenance, and your maintenance calories are probably 3,000.
Yeah,
so you need to consume 6,000 in 1 day to gain a pound of body fat.
It ain't that hard to get to $6,000, buddy.
I think you're overestimating how many calories are in some things.
I think you're underestimating how much garbage I can eat because
How many beers did you have in 1 day?
18 probably touching 20. Noon to
so that's
night.
2,000 calories.
Yeah. 4 meals a day, basically. I'm telling you, it was Lord of the Flies.
No, you were probably closer to like 6. You're probably closer to 6.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, it was a lot. It was indulgence in every single facet this weekend.
Well, get it together.
So I guess the original point here: 8 hot dogs. It don't scare me.
No, I want to test this. They do qualifying events for the hot dog eating contest. I looked it up. They do one in DC. You want to go?
That might be our scene,
next
man.
year.
I could do a hot dog. Oh man, now it's coming together.
It's beginning of June.
Oh yeah. So
June.
It's warmer eating the what? Well, you know what? That's kind of BS. I want the trials to be in like a cold warehouse. That's where I want you to. So you got to really earn it to get to the stage. If you're sitting on a stage eating hot dogs, you might as well just do it there and not go to.
We need to remember this because I think it would make for a fun piece of content in the beginning of June if we went.
How come there has not been another food that is as entertaining to eat in quantity as the hot dog? And I'm not talking about mukbang where you get 3 chicken, fried chicken buckets and you sit there and gorge on those. But for the quantity, we don't see burger eating contests. We're not seeing 4 men against 4 72-ounce steaks. We're seeing hot dogs.
It's a good question.
I'd like to see other foods get thrown in there.
Well, if you watch the broadcast, they talk about all the gross things that these people hold the records for consuming, and it's like deviled eggs. It's pistachios is one. Twinkies is another one.
Do you know we have a connection to Badlands Booker, the lemonade chug master?
How?
We got a connection. We have a teammate that I believe is a nephew of Badlands Booker.
It's not who I think it is.
I think it is. If we want to connect the dots on the last name, I think it is.
Are you just saying that?
I'm not.
He told you that.
He's reposted. He say my uncle does a bunch of crazy shit like that. I'm like, I think I heard him in passing one day. You're talking
about the big dude who does the big boot.
Yeah, the big boot.